Hi, I'm Ed Schad, curator of the Broad in Los Angeles. I'm happy to be with you here today to talk about Jean-Michel Basquiat's work, With Strings 2, from 1983. I'll start with Basquiat's favorite book. The title of the book is Bird Lives, The High Life and Hard Times of Charlie Yardbird Parker. Basquiat liked this book by Ross Russell so much that, as the art historian Fred Hoffman records, he kept pallets of the book in his studio to give to visitors. I am of the opinion that if you want to know a person, and if they have made their favorite book known, that you really should read the book. While it is hard to know what about the book specifically resonates with the person, in this case Basquiat, you can still share some of their experiences, letting the book wash over you as you try to know the person who loved it. And I loved Bird Lives. You get to know jazz alto saxophonist Charlie Parker. But the book is more than that. You feel the energy that his genius, his presence, and most importantly, his instrument put in the world. When Charlie Parker was on a jazz bill, the club would teem with anticipation and impatience as it waited for the sax player to join the bandstand. Patrons would be on edge until he arrived, and when he arrived, the music that he made would last forever, until that very moment, unwritten and unexpected. The music would never be repeated in the same way. The next night, in the next club, everything would change. New scene, new music. He worked from compositions but was not restrained by them. At the beginning of Bird Lives, you actually get to know a man named Dean Benedetti, who dedicated his life to recording each and everything that Charlie Parker played. To say that Basquiat had great interest in Parker would be an understatement. As many have noted, no subject appears in Basquiat's paintings and drawings more often. As with people like Hank Aaron, Sugar Ray Robinson, Jesse Owens, and Paul Robeson, Basquiat loved to think about great talents and great performers. Basquiat was especially intent to address and consider his heroes from the Black community, which, as the painter observed in various interviews, were not represented in art history or even in popular culture in a way commensurate with their societal impact and importance. And the appearance of Parker took many forms in Basquiat's work. He, for instance, would paint the man himself. We see him on his paintings. He would refer to Parker's albums, to his compositions, to his record labels, and to musicians in his orbit. Basquiat often referred to Charlie Parker's daughter, Pree, who died tragically young. He also used Parker's many nicknames: Bird, Charlie Chan, Yardbird, or Sparrow. Basquiat would often write Parker's name without its vowels: C, P, R, K, R. The Broad Collection's painting With Strings 2, 1983, refers to Charlie Parker. We can tell this by the appearance of Parker's album Ornithology, which is written and is subsequently struck out by a red slash in the middle of the work. Furthermore, a variation on Basquiat's vowelless use of Parker's name is used in this painting. Above Ornithology, we see the letters C-E-R-K-P written. Basquiat reused and varied symbols in his paintings. Previously, for example, he referred to the vines on the right side of With Strings 2 as a poison hemlock plant, but he does not label it such here. That house with a Superman S in the middle, found in the lower right-hand corner, is found throughout Basquiat's career, as is references to those body parts near the vines. See left arm and pa in the same location. However, at the top, I like to think about that pointed grid. In previous Basquiat's work, this grid is empty. In others, it is drawn lightly, as though it is coming apart. Some commentators have said that this grid refers to a scoreboard at a baseball game, where the letters and numbers are changed according to the action of the game. I like this analogy. I like that Basquiat changes this grid in the service of what he is painting at any given moment. Many of his symbols work that way. They constantly move and change. There's an immediacy to Basquiat's thought, a sense of dynamism. One could say Basquiat's use of symbols in his work is akin to how Parker used his baseline compositions in his music. They are recognizable, but never the same. So what is going on in With Strings 2? What is the score in this painting? I suspect it might have much to do with the black figure featured most prominently. That guy struck by lightning and showing his insides. From my point of view, the lightning can be equally the surge and electric shock of artistic inspiration, that moment on the bandstand with Parker. But it can also be a moment of vulnerability. And perhaps that's what Basquiat is saying here. The figure retains his power. He has a clawed grip. He is wearing that now iconic Basquiat crown. Yet the artistic gift, both Basquiat's and Parker's, can be a mixed blessing. It can be a gift that can change the world, but can also leave you exposed. It is a gift that always comes, as the title says, with strings.